Law of incompletion or recompense or karma in operation. The law of incompletion involves balancing anything and everything that is imbalanced. Activities are balanced when all associated thoughts are complete. Thoughts are the foundation of incompletion because when thoughts are incomplete and outstanding, they are active. When a thought is complete, it dissolves. Thoughts are intersections of the physical and non-physical realms. Thoughts are the expression of common ground for all beings who are conscious of being conscious. This means that through the actions of thought, thoughts are shared. This is similar to electricity proceeding from a source and being distributed throughout a grid. Consciousness shows up in this universe through the thoughts of all human beings. Harold W. Percival, author of Thinking and Destiny, teaches that the components of a thought are conscious light and elementals. Consciousness is revealed in thought as a component of light, while the elementals convey consciousness and carry out the designs of the thought. A thought is like an architect creating designs, and the elementals are like workers who carry out the plans. When someone is thinking dark thoughts, conscious light is greatly diminished within that thought and its expression. This leads to feelings of heaviness, such as feeling burdened. When you focus on thoughts that contain light, more light is revealed. The contrast between dark and light thoughts is easily discernible when you focus attention on the feelings generated by the thoughts. Dark thoughts feel heavy, lonely, and alienating. Thoughts comprise incompletion. Incompletion is the operation of thought. Thoughts are active so that they may be completed. When thoughts are complete, they dissolve, and the components are released from the structure of that thought. Revealed in humanity. Recompense is an aspect of incompletion and is a subsidiary of thought. Recompense or karma reveals where work is incomplete. Recompense is part of the human experience. It is the action of balancing. It is the part of incompletion and karma that provides balance. Humanity is affected by an accumulation of imbalances, and we cannot move on until we complete the incompletion. Life experiences are not punishments, however. As an analogy, when you go to the store and buy food, you pay the cost and receive nourishment from what you digest. Completing an action is not a punishment. It is just the way relationships work in this universe. Imbalances are accumulated both at the individual level and at the group level. Group karma brings people together. Families, teams, organizations, and societies have accumulations of imbalances that are active until those thoughts are balanced and therefore released. These imbalances are often experienced as unresolved recurring conflicts, such as those between some neighboring countries. Trying to bypass incompletion is ineffective. Similarly, ignoring or working against karma or recompense adds to the sense of incompletion. People get polarized in duality until they complete and balance their thoughts. Getting polarized in duality means emphasizing the thingness of existence, which leads to opposition, instead of acknowledging and experiencing oneness. A thought is balanced when you have effectively learned what there is to learn and have fulfilled any requirements connected with a thought. Commonly, people use thought to focus on things they wish to acquire, such as power, rather than learning to operate properly with consciousness. Returning to balance is a process. It is a function of consciousness. To attain equanimity, dissolve the view that things are static and inert, and become aware of the beingness in everything. Balance is not something that can be forced. It must be allowed to emerge through laws of being, from which we experience connection with consciousness, which is also known as grace. Grace can feel like a sudden dispensation of love, light, possibility, or resources. One of the ways grace is bestowed is through devotion, and devotion requires unification between you and the subject of your devotion. Sincerity and capacity for devotion frequently lead to grace. Dispensing grace is done by and with permissions. In the spiritual realm, eternal consciousness is the source of grace. In the human realm, grace can be dispensed by those with authority. For example, some people have authority to pardon those who have transgressed human law. In our individual lives, we all have authority to dispense grace through forgiveness, which is an operation of being. Antithesis. Actions that block progress perpetuate and prolong imbalances. These actions include avoiding, procrastinating, deflecting, blaming, failing to take responsibility, and being stubborn. Application: how to balance recompense and karma. When people experience a challenge, they often ask, why is this happening? Gaining awareness of imbalances can help us understand what we are experiencing, why, and what there is to learn. To undo the accumulation of imbalances, we have to seek, achieve, and allow balance. Resolving imbalance results in harmony. Resolution brings peace. Instead of avoiding challenges, we can explore them and ask for clarity. We can ask, what is the lesson for me to learn here? We can discover our responsibilities and duties. The pathway to harmony involves fulfilling the responsibilities and duties connected with a thought so we can return to balance. Some people think spirituality is all about experiencing a beautiful psychic playground. However, we all have serious work to complete. We progress by taking action to resolve completion. To complete thoughts, dissolve attachment to the actions and relationships constrained within and affected by those thoughts. Take the actions that result in recompense. For example, a chair is just a chair. What matters is your relationship with it. If you take someone's chair, you complete the recompense by returning it or offering it back, which restores integrity to the relationship. When you are attached to a thought, you are letting desire rule. When you are ruled by ego or the physical human senses, then you are limited by present feelings and desires. In contrast, when a thought is balanced, then past, present, and future are available to be revealed and unfolded. This means that when you are in a harmonious, balanced state, you are open to possibilities. Note, judging another person's experiences or interjecting your opinions about those experiences breaks the law of non-interference unless you have permission to make assessments and share your thoughts. Balance must be achieved with proper permissions, and conscience is the arbitrator of permissions for us humans.